care more about vengeance, punishment, justice in the traditional way that justice has been held, where you experience my pain and there's no way back for you? Now take a look at all the conversations that have been had over the past 5 years. Conversations around the Me Too movement, conversations around patriarchy, toxic masculinity, all the ways that we're assessing men as part of the human project that we have going on here as dysfunctional, broken, and wrong. It's happening. Don't deny it, because all you need to do is go and do a Google search about toxic masculinity and recognize that all of that toxic masculinity, the ways that we don't want things to show up on our planet, are being rolled right into our conversations around men. And very quickly, it's becoming a broad stroke that this is the way that all men are. And that is what's crafting and refining this lens through which we look at every single action that every man takes. Now, I also want to be clear. I think it's good that we have greater visibility and accountability on the way that our men are showing up in the world. I'm not saying that we should blur the lenses and look the other way. Believe me, that's not the message here. I'm just asking us to think differently about how we judge, how we assess what it is that we find, what it is that we see when we're looking clearly, when everybody's being held accountable to how they show up in the world. And ask yourself, do you care more about vengeance, punishment, justice in the traditional way that justice has been held, where you experience my pain and there's no way back for you? Or is there something different? Requires a lot of each and every one of us to choose a different way of creating justice, creating peace. Ultimately, it's about healing. It's about healing ourselves. It's about healing and holding space for others to heal themselves. It's about healing years, generations, a whole line of ancestral traumas and pains that we've held on to, and more that we create and perpetuate each and every day. But it's hard out there for us men right now. We're on thin ice. Everything we do is under a microscope. And that's good. It's good that we have that level of accountability. It's good that we're raising the standard higher and higher for how we want men to show up on this planet. I know that's what I care about. I just want to make room for when men fail, not to give up on them. Not to give up. Not to cast them aside, not to exile them, cancel them, remove them from society, because you don't eliminate cancer simply by removing it from the body. There's a full integrative healing process that's necessary. And we can't achieve that if all we're doing is catching that one moment where somebody steps out of character, steps out of line, and deciding that they are no longer useful, they don't belong in our community anymore. Let's focus on the behavior, not the person.